Welcome to the Haynes Total Healthcare Basketball Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. Since 1974, Haynes Total Healthcare has been proudly serving the Chillicothe community and surrounding counties, providing exceptional care to over 50,000 patients every year. Whether you're seeking chiropractic care, physical therapy, or nutritional guidance, we've got you covered. From athletes to seniors and from pediatrics to geriatrics, we treat patients of all ages, helping you live pain-free, stay active, and feel your best. With a place in the top 1% of clinics nationwide, you can trust that you're in good hands. We're open 6 days a week, ready to serve your family for years to come. Haynes Total Healthcare Center, where healing happens for every stage of life. Call for an appointment today or visit us at hayneshealth.com. I'm Jeran Cox, and joined here again this Friday night is partner right beside me, Matt Hoops. We've got Christian Spradlin across from us. And Matt, we had a big game, the SVC tonight over at Unioto. I know you were able to go watch, and Unioto was looking for a little bit of revenge after Westfall knocked them off early in the season. And it sounds like Unioto was able to hold their home court tonight.
Yeah, it like I told you guys off the air, it was ugly. It was ugly both ways, but Unioto was able to jump out to a 7-0 lead, got it up to 9-2. And pretty much that it stayed that way from then on. Neither team shot the ball extremely well. It was a very physical game. It seems like it always is when these two teams play. It's physical, kind of ugly, and both teams held serve on their home court.
Yeah, it was just trying to watch a little bit of it and stuff, and it really looked like Unioto did a good job defensively, especially on Joe Ray. He was kind of really quiet in the middle of the game, and I think he had the 4 points in the first quarter, but it was transition points. And it just seemed like the half-court defense of Unioto did a good job tonight, not really letting Westfall get many good looks.
Yeah, they made it tough on them. Jackson Zickafus did a great job on the basketball. Jack Welch came in off the bench and was able to kind of just pick up where Jackson left off. And, anytime you can run two solid athletes at one, it's going to be tough. And, their on-ball defense was really good, and overall their defense was really good all night long. I can't remember what the final was, but I don't think Westfall got out of the 40s. I know they were in the 20s at the end of the third quarter. So, overall, a really good defensive effort for Unioto tonight. Offensively, both sides could have been better, but sometimes you got to win ugly.
Yeah, it's definitely better to win ugly than lose pretty, and that puts Unioto and Zane Trace tied. They're still tied at the top of the league. Zane Trace had a big win tonight, and we'll have a big showdown here pretty soon. Was that another week or two?
I don't remember. Within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
for sure.
Within the next 2 weeks, basically. We're going to say decide the SVC, but obviously Westfall still has to come to Zane Trace. That's going to be a tough game, and some of these other SVC teams are playing pretty good also. So it's brewing up for, kind of like when me and you used to play back in the old days, and has been the last few years, really, just that old Zane Trace Unioto rivalry. So
yeah, it's real, and I like it that it's late in the league schedule. I just there's something about playing your rival late in the schedule. It always sets up for an even better atmosphere, in my opinion.
The rivalry is real. That's why I'm not sitting very close to you. So. But we're going to take a quick break, guys, and then when we come back, we're going to have Southeastern girls basketball head coach Doug Hice in studio with us. We come right back from this break. Welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Basketball Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa, also sponsored by Glow Fiber. Internet services for tonight's show are provided by Glow Fiber, delivering speeds and reliability that keep up with every need from streaming and gaming to business demands. Give Glow Fiber a call at 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com. So we're back in studio here and joined with Southeastern girls basketball coach Doug Hice. And Coach, you guys have lost a couple games in a row, but you played a couple of really good opponents. I think the last time we talked to you, you were getting ready to play Federal Hocking, a team that got at least to the district finals last year, maybe farther. And, we were talking off air. You really had them beat. You were leading them the whole game, ended up falling 59-57. But it sounds like your girls played pretty well that night.
Yeah, we played real well. Probably if we don't have a kid foul out, we'd probably win that game. Shot, I think, 56% for the game. Still had high turnovers. We was in the 20s, but it wasn't nothing crucial. Federal Hockey really gets after you. I mean, all 5 kids, they're 94 foot and put a lot of pressure on you.
That's interesting to me because obviously I know you guys are a little bit opposite of that. I just kind of wonder, did their style end up winning out, or how was that game
Yes.
played? It did.
Yes,
Out of curiosity.
that's what happened there. It seemed like the last couple minutes of the basketball game we really struggled to get it down the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we got to half court, we scored it.
Mm-hmm.
But last 2 minutes of the ball game, we couldn't get it to half court, and like you said, their style eventually won out.
Yeah, and they play that style, Coach. We were talking before you got here. Basically, it's like a line change in hockey. 5 in, 5 out. Chillicothe played a team like that in the Final Four the year they won, but they just try to wear you down. And you're shooting the ball 56%. You're exactly right. It sounds like you get it down there and you're putting the ball in the hole. And it's unfortunately had a girl foul out. But it does sound like we're joking off air. You are taking care of the ball better. You got your turnovers down a little bit, and that's not easy to do against a team that presses like that.
No, really, if we'd been playing anybody else that day, we wouldn't have many turnovers at all. But they did a nice job, and my 2 bigs did a nice job. But once we got the ball down there, Reese and Run Ruckle, we got them the ball and they scored it. Just that simple.
Yeah, it's almost like a whole team effort. I know we got Gracie coming in here in just a few minutes, but you talk about her coming in and play the point guard. But it sounds like it's just a team effort getting the ball, and everybody seems to be playing better for you. You've been right there at the door. You've been knocking. You just need that big win to help your girls really get over the hump, get that confidence.
Yeah, you're right. We are playing much better. Kids are more comfortable. Probably one of the biggest things you're just talking about Gracie Brown is her role at the point. She's really starting to settle in a little bit, and the game's starting to slow down for her. So, we're getting there. It's too bad it's January already. That's the bad thing, but we're getting there.
Who do you guys play tomorrow? I'm assuming
We got Paint Valley tomorrow.
Okay.
They got a full week next week with Dina on a makeup Monday, and Zane Trace Wednesday, and Huntington Saturday.
So you got, and really, if you take Unioto out of the equation, the SVC has been very competitive. You guys are sitting 2-5 right now, but you've been right there. Basically every game you're just talking maybe a 1 or 2 few turnovers here, maybe a couple extra made shots or whatever, and you're right there. What's one of your goals here as you guys start the second half of the SVC?
Well, win. It's getting ready to be tournament time. If you got some wins, you get seeded better. You can win a game in a tournament and keep moving on. You guys both know tournament time is really a fun time of the year. Yeah. So the longer we can make that happen, that's going to help us for next year. So.
And I know you brought this paper in here. You're showing it to me a little bit beforehand. I think you guys are sitting 15 or 16 right now.
Yes.
And you're in a really, really tough, division and region or whatever. You're looking at Portsmouth and Fairland and Wheelersburg. It's 3 phenomenal teams, 1 undefeated. Two of those teams, Portsmouth and Fairland, state final 4 teams last year, and Wheelersburg sitting at 8-1 right now. And you don't want you like you said, you want to have that success in the tournament, and so it's important to pick up these as many wins as you can to avoid them as long as possible, so you guys can have some success down the tournament.
Yeah, that's our plan. Try to win a few games and get seated somewhere where we're not playing like you said, a Fairland, a Portsmouth, or Wheelersburg. And the bad thing about D5, it's the same old cast of characters. It just ain't them. You're gonna have Huntington, Adena, your own league.
Yeah. Your own leagues in there.
You're gonna have North Adams. It's always tough. Memphis, Alexander. I mean, it's the same old.
Yeah.
Same old cast of characters.
Is that is I don't know if it's the girls is the same as the boys. The first round games are at the higher seed,
yes.
And then you move to a neutral site after that.
Yes.
Is that the same?
For the girls in D5 anyway, is like you said, the first round be the higher seed, then we're at Waverly.
Okay.
For the next two.
When you guys played Waverly, did you play at Waverly?
No.
Oh, you got it.
No. But if we would have, we'd have played up at the high school. And
this was at the downtown gym.
downtown.
I got you.
Yeah.
I always liked when we would play you guys Southeastern late in the season because our sectionals were always at Southeastern. It was just always just one little advantage you'd try to pick up.
You always have.
You know what I mean?
A lot of D2 coaches call. We used to be D2. Call me and want a scrimmage because that's where they're going to play their sectional at.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, what's obviously every team improves as the season goes on. What does list off maybe 2 or 3 things that stood out to you that your team's really improved on this season?
Well, the one we talked about, we've been talking about it the whole time, is turnovers.
Yeah,
it's definitely got better. So that gives us more shots.
Mm-hmm.
We do a great job of getting the ball where we want to get it and play the style of the game that we want to play. And when we do that, we're pretty good. Now, some teams are smart enough to let us do that, and it hurts us, and it really hinders what we want to do. But we're shooting the ball better. You would think by January you'd be shooting the ball great, but we're not. But we are better. Everything's in. So you don't have to worry about that. It's got to worry about keeping in shape and
keeping this weather out of there so you can stay consistent in the gym. You know, sometimes that plays a huge role on, you say, by January we should be shooting the ball better.
We kind of talked about that a little bit. We went to Westfall and didn't play very well. But like I told him, I said, Westfall got the same amount of snow we did.
Right. You can't make excuses.
Right.
But it does play a role in it in terms of your consistency shooting and things like that. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about, Coach, we've been talking about your offense an awful lot. Let's talk about defense. Obviously, you start 2 bigger. I'll just call them both post players. I think that's basically what they are.
They are.
And in today's game, you don't see many post players. So maybe it's a matchup problem for you defensively. What's some of the things that you do defensively to help your girls out?
We get in the zone right from get-go. Mm-hmm. And, if we can stay in that zone, we're pretty good. Sometimes we can't. We got to come out. And when we got to come out of it, we take one of their bigs or post players, and they got to come off the floor. Well, when that happens, then you get to the offensive side of things, and now, we're taking our number 2 scorer or maybe our number 1 scorer, and they're off the floor, so that hurts us on the offensive end. But, we do some zone pressing, but everything we do is zone.
Okay. What's your favorite practice drill?
My favorite practice drill? I like River Rat. What do you call it? I don't know what you guys call it, where everybody gets in the lines and it's a layup drill. And, for girls basketball, it works on a lot of things. One, you can work on conditioning. Passing in girls basketball sometimes is tough. Mm-hmm. So it's always about passing. And you work on making layups. Mm-hmm. And I really still, and ever since I've got to the girls' side, I believe this. If you can make layups, you make foul shots, and you rebound well, in girls' basketball, you got a chance.
Yeah.
So.
The other thing, too, with that is the communication aspect of it, calling ahead who you're throwing the ball to and talking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of different things you can take away from that drill. But, anytime you can get them running and shooting and not make – allow them to think. Close your ears, Gracie. Not allow them to think that they're conditioning. I mean, that's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, don't even know.
It's good.
We'll put you on the spot another time here, Coach.
Okay.
So you got Dina coming up here this week. You're down by 10 with 10 seconds to go. You going for the tie? You going for the win?
Down by 10.
Down by 2.
10 seconds
10
left.
seconds to go. You going for a 2-pointer to tie, or
We're
you going
gonna jam it into our post player.
jam it into your post
If-
player? Okay.
And one.
If we
You
tie
get
it
and
up,
one.
we get tied up. If we get a foul, we get a foul.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
What are you doing, Jeran?
I'm not passing. I'm shooting 3.
I knew that answer.
What are you doing?
Same.
2 guards.
All right, Coach. Well, appreciate you coming on here and talking to us tonight, and wish the Lady Panthers best of luck here this coming week. Got what'd you say?
4 games
this
Yeah.
week.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so big week for the Lady Panthers. So appreciate you coming on. When we come back from this break, we're going to have Southeastern Lady Panthers junior point guard Gracie Brown in studio with us. Welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. I'm Jeran Cox. Matt Hoops is with me, and we've got Southeastern junior point guard Gracie Brown with us. And you know, Gracie's got a few accolades that we're going to talk about here before we start asking her some questions. But second team All SVC last year, broke the record for most 3-pointers in a season, and this year averaging about 3 assists a game and about 8 points per game. But you know, we've talked about your roles changed a little bit, so you know, just talk about how last year your role was maybe be a 3-point shooter and have people setting you up, and you know, you guys had some graduations, so this year you've taken over the point guard role. It's maybe affected some of your scoring, but it's changed your game and it's helping you become like more of a complete player. Just talk about the difference between last year and this year.
Right. Last year we had Gabby Purnell, and she was able to bring the ball up for us, so I kind of just went off into the corner, and it had all the pressure off of me, obviously. So she would drive in, find me open, so I'd shoot it, usually make the 3. Yeah, but like this year, I have to be the point guard. I have to get all the pressure on me, so I'm not able to just go to the corner and shoot the 3s. I have to drive in, try and score myself, dish it to the bigs. I have to obviously take a bigger role this year.
And you know, obviously maybe your points per game is down, but you're still contributing offensively. Like those points are still being scored, you know, by your 2 post players and yourself. So it's still just rationed out differently. Kind of talk about how, I mean, if it did, and I'm sure it did, it took some time getting used to that and how you kind of adjusted.
Right. At the beginning of the season, like, I wasn't scoring as many points, but like now I'm kind of starting to get comfortable being the point guard and seeing what I am able to make a move and go and do. So obviously it's not always 3s like last year, but usually I'll just like try and drive in and score a layup or something.
Yeah, I know every time we talk to Coach Hice, he always talks about how you're improving, you know, you're taking care of the ball better, and it just really seems like the game is slowing down for you, and maybe as the season wears on, you're starting to expect maybe some traps and other things. Just talk about how the game has slowed down and maybe how that's really helped you step up as a leader and tell some of your other players, hey, I need you to come here, or I need you to cut there. Just talk about, you know, some of your leadership with that.
Yeah, so when we do practice, we usually scrimmage JV varsity. So I'm used to getting trapped, double teamed, whatever during games. So usually at practice, I'll like tell the JV girls like, hey, kind of come guard me a little bit harder. Like that's what they do in games. So I want to be able to use that and put it into play whenever I do play games.
Now, does he ever throw out there like 6 or 7 or maybe 8 JV players against you guys?
No.
Ooh, try to give him some
You
tips.
just gave him a good idea. Uh-oh. I mean, that's something that, you know, I've done before, and it's almost like, okay, it's not that realistic, but if I know a team was going to pressure us full court, we would go 6 on 5, but then once we get into the scrimmage area, take that guy off so that you can run your half-court offense. But, you know, that's good. I mean, the fact that you want practice to be more difficult than a game shows your maturity and shows that you know how important it is for your teammates to push in practice. So that's big time.
Yep. So you guys are getting ready to start the second half of SVC, play Gracie, and you guys finished the first round 2-5. You know, we just talked to Coach Hice, knocking on the door. Seems like on 2 or 3 of those games. What's some of your goals here coming down the second half of the season?
Just handling the pressure a lot better, minimizing our turnovers a lot. We know the pressure that they're going to give us now, so whenever we practice, we're going to realize that, and obviously it's going to help us a lot and know what's coming, so we can put it into play whenever we do play.
Can you as a point guard and your team in general, can you guys, or do you understand and can you feel the growth that you guys have made from game 1 to whatever game you're on now?
Oh, yeah, a lot. We've talked about it all the time in practice. We're, like, thinking, like, you guys remember our first game, like, it was kind of bad.
Right.
And, like, now we're finally putting it all together and being a team and realizing how far we've came a lot.
Right. If you would play that first game now, obviously
Oh, yeah.
it'd be a different, different outcome maybe.
What, you talked about Gabby Purnell last year. Maybe name 1 or 2 things that, you picked up from some of those girls that graduated last year? One or two things you picked up from them to help you be a leader this year for a still really young Southeastern team?
Usually Gabby would always pick us up. Like, she'd see us being down, so she would always come and be like, hey, you're good. You got it the next time. She was always, like, probably one of the best seniors in Morgan Ware. She was always has a smile on her face, made us happy, because if we would have seen them down, we would want to get down. So, like, I always try to have a smile on my face and not look upset, because then, obviously, the younger underclassmen will try to be upset because they follow my rule.
Yeah, and I always feel like, you know, if success kind of breeds success in a different sport. So, like, you know, obviously you guys had really good volleyball seasons last couple of years, and, you know, do you think maybe success on the volleyball court, does it translate over to the basketball court just mentally, or?
It does a little bit, but, like, we are a very young team, so they don't really know what's coming. So they're kind of new and don't know what to expect.
So it sounds like maybe you're the leader, you're in charge. What's pregame music hype like? Snoop Dogg?
I don't know. Usually we're country though if we do play.
Country music. That's
That's
interesting.
my
Megan
kind of
Maroney.
locker room. I would rather that. That's something I know. These guys play these songs, and
We're girl country.
in the football locker room, you know, it's connected to the football office, and they'll start playing that stuff, and Coach Bryant, he just shuts that door, and we can still hear it. But we as coaches, we sit there a lot of times before the game, be like, what are they saying? And how can these guys actually be listening to this? It's bad. So you guys are onto something there.
What's the top few songs? I need to hear this.
Am I Okay by Megan Maroney.
Am I okay?
It's a good song. Probably
Taylor
something
Swift.
Zach
Got any
Bryan.
Taylor Swift in there? No.
We're not big Swifties.
Yeah.
Zach Bryan.
Okay.
He's good.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Luke Bryan fan,
Luke
so I
Bryan.
always throw that in there.
Okay.
Well, if you have the aux, you get to say. So
Yep.
play what you want.
Any superstitions you guys got before the games, or you personally, or
Not really.
no?
Just go out there and play.
Just go out there and play and have
Who
fun.
keeps the team loose in the locker room? Is there
It's usually me.
oh, man, you wear all the hats. Jack of all trades.
Oh goodness, what you know what when you've kind of turned into your leader, you know, this year for this team, you know, just kind of looking at the big picture. Maybe what's one or two things you want to accomplish by the end of your senior year next year, basketball wise?
Definitely, as a team, become a lot better. Like, we are obviously young, so I want to see all of us come and succeed. Hopefully, have a very good record and go far in tournaments.
Okay. Who's your favorite basketball player?
Steph Curry,
Why?
because he's a three-point shooter.
He's
And
Good
then
answer.
MJ.
Yeah, I still remember watching him in the Olympics this year. He made all them threes. My gosh, that was nasty. Then he just, what did he do? Put him to sleep?
Put him to sleep. You put him to sleep, for sure.
All right, Gracie. Well, we appreciate you spending your Friday night in here with us and talking to us for a few minutes, and wish you the best of luck the rest of this year, and, you know, have a good rest of the season.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll have some more coaches lined up on the Sosa Coaches Call-In Show, sponsored by Hice Total Healthcare.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by Ohio Health has to offer by visiting our website at sosaohio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's sosaohio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband. Get it together.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Basketball Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. This is the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show for a variety of healthcare needs, including chiropractic services, physical therapy, nutritional guidance, dry needling, stretch rehab, corrective exercises, lifestyle advice, and more. Turn to Haynes Total Healthcare Center at One Health Drive in Chillicothe or call 740-772-5957 or visit Haynes Total Healthcare online at hayneshealth.com. So we are back, and Coach, we're starting to roll in some of these scores tonight, and a score we were just talking about, a really good game. I believe it was at Chillicothe. Jackson knocked them off 54 to 52, and an always tough FAC league matchup.
Yeah, all of those matchups are tough. I mean, and those are quality teams going at it. So, it's a big win for Jackson. I think they got knocked off earlier in the week by Wheelersburg in double overtime. So, for them to bounce back and go on the road, Max has got to be happy about that result for sure.
Yeah, it is. And man, I remember when we had Brock in here last week, we started talking about the FAC, and there's not a night off. Mm-mm. And you feel bad for Coach Beard losing a 2-point game at home, and I feel like Chillicothe's maybe had some potential the last few years. They had some injuries that kind of set them back, but it seems like maybe a little bit different this year for Chillicothe, and that would have been a big win for them, because Jackson, they're that team. They're going to play physical. They're going to make it kind of an ugly basketball game. They're going to play real good defensively, and it just, man, Chillicothe is just right there.
Yeah, and I think some of the improvement for Chillicothe is just they're a year older. So it takes a while to learn how to win, and those guys are, like you said, right there on the doorstep of it.
Yeah, Pat's got a really good roster. He's got, the Ligon kid that's a freshman. You got Jeran Cox coming back. You got the Honey Badger, Cam Badger, and
Cooper Stone King's a junior, 3-year player.
Yeah,
so.
he's got some really nice pieces out there, and he's knocking right on the door of the FAC. So we do have a coach lined up, and we're going to be speaking to Zane Trace boys basketball coach Tyler Cassidy. Coach, you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Coach, how's it going? Big win tonight.
Hey, pretty good. How about you? I mean, I'm home. I just had some spaghetti and ready to.
Easy on the food talk, Coach. Easy on the food talk.
I know.
We were kind of hoping you were still out there in the snow.
Good.
We were hoping you were still Snow Angel challenging it up.
Oh my gosh! I hope you didn't see that.
You were the first one I saw.
Well, Lance Stevens, I didn't even know what the Snow Angel Challenge was, and I get on Facebook, and then here I have to do this challenge. As a coach, you got to do it.
No, you don't.
So,
well, no, I challenge Coach Hoops, and he's yet to come through with this.
I've got students that have done it. I want to know how many takes it took you to make that shot.
I'll be honest, that was the first take.
Attaboy. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, looks like you guys had Southeastern tonight, and you kind of jumped out on them early and had I think it was like a 17 or 20 point lead there at halftime. What was working well for you guys this evening?
Well, honestly, I think we just executed our sets really well. I kind of went into it as we haven't had very good second halves, and even though that continued tonight, but I wanted to try to get a sub rotation a little bit more structured, and we didn't necessarily script what we were going to do with our sets in the first half, but I had an idea of what we wanted to do, like kind of grouped them, and I want to say we probably ran more sets in the first half tonight than what we have all year.
Coach, was that home or away?
It's home.
It was home.
Home. Okay.
What you talk about grouping subs and stuff like that tonight. What's it been like, or how difficult has it been with LJ coming back? I mean, obviously you guys are playing really well without him, but it's not like he's a nobody, right? So he's like an All-Ohio player, and how difficult has that been, kind of working him back into the rotation and keeping everybody else happy?
Well, I think the kids have handled it well, but for us as coaches, we're already taking a pretty good team and we're trying to make them better. And LJ is also trying to work himself into basketball shape. And I think that's one of the reasons why we wanted to run more sets at the start of the game, just because it felt like that would help our continuity and chemistry, and everybody's touching the ball and getting touches. And also with that, LJ had, I'm pretty sure he had 7 assists in the first half from that. And he had probably his best game since he's been back. And we were pretty balanced tonight, and I think he knows his role might be a little bit different just because he's got more guys around him that can score this year. And he's being very unselfish. And, everybody kind of, our shot was like, I want to say maybe Landon shot it 11 times, Gunner shot it 10, and then it went 8, 8, 8, 6, 4. So like the shot attempts are where we want it for our team.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I was really pleased with. I got to watch you guys the first half, LJ's first game back against Huntington. And, not that I should have expected anything differently, but I wanted to see how he would respond. And, he came out, he didn't force anything, right? That first half, it was, he had 3 or 4 assists. He drove and took a shot or 2 inside, maybe had a wide open 3, but he wasn't really forcing anything to get himself back into the game, back into the rhythm, just being a really great team player. And, that's what everybody should expect from him. He a first-class kid, first-class family, and I really think having him back just adds a whole new level to your team, because I think the one thing that maybe hurt you guys a little bit against Unioto the first time was just your depth. And when you bring him back, I was talking to Coach Hoops here a few weeks ago. He's more than really just one player, because it adds another like point guard to your team, and you've got now 2 or 3 guys that can play point guard, and everybody else is versatile. So if somebody's in foul trouble, it's not a big deal to shift positions a little bit.
Yeah, and I think, moving Landon Robinson off the 1, we tried to tell him, even though you're taking the ball out, and technically we might as coaches call that a 4, really they're both a 1. And we tried to tell him, LJ, if you're getting pressure, just pass it to Landon and let him bring it up, and then we'll just flip the court and run our offense from that side. So, those two kind of, to me, are both point guards, and we'll utilize both of them, and we'll try to figure out, what matchup is better for us when maybe we are playing teams like Unioto that have really good guards that get after you and pressure you, or maybe they can share the load a little bit. But I do think, what you just said, you're right on it, because he definitely does add some depth and adds that quickness and ball handling that maybe we were missing a little bit in some of those stretches.
And it just gives you a leader and a guy with a lot of experience out there. So, I think, the way you're approaching it with both of those guys, I mean, you can never have too many ball handlers out there, in my opinion. I think, you guys are just going to keep getting better every game you play with LJ back.
Absolutely. I think you're right. I mean, and not only those two, but Grady Stewart handles it well. Ezra can handle it at times. But, as long as you can, everybody focuses on shooting, and Coach. But if you can handle the ball, if you can play defense, and if you can pass, you can always play.
Absolutely.
I think you just hit a big point right there, and I was going to get to it. I think with LJ coming back, that takes more pressure off of a kid like Grady Stewart, and it takes more attention away from inside Gunnar McCullough, who's a really tough matchup. He's 6'4" or so, and really athletic. It's so tough to box him out. He's just real long and lanky. Yes. And I think, Grady's an outstanding shooter. You got other outstanding shooters, but it's a big difference from being maybe 2 or 3 on the scouting report to now you're getting bumped down to 4 or 5 when you're still really good player.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'd even go to 6 with Noah now coming off the bench, and Judah Hanks has been giving us some pretty good minutes here of late. So, I mean, I think our season scoring is Gunnar averages 14, Grady averages 13, Landon Robinson averages 10, then Ezra and Landon, LJ right now is averaging 8, Noah averages 7. So we're kind of all right there, and all of them are weapons for us. And I think our kids just do a great job of creating for one another, and they're very unselfish and makes it easy for us as coaches.
Absolutely. What's coming up for the Pioneers, Coach?
We have a makeup game tomorrow. We're going down to Piketon.
Oh, is that from the snowstorm there last week?
Yeah, we had all 3 games of our that were scheduled last week canceled. So we've got Piketon made up for tomorrow, and then we have Westfall we rescheduled, I think, for the 28th. And one thing that I think, and maybe other coaches maybe look at, but we scheduled Benton County for that week that we'll probably have off before tournament. So I think that's February 15th.
Yeah, I think I was in there looking in Coach Kite's office today, and I think it did say February 15th. So that'll be a good matchup there right before the tournament. And we're going to try to get you in here in studio before this show's over with. I don't know if that's next week or whatever, but what's 1 or 2 things you think Zane Trace really needs to improve on and work on to finish the year you want them to?
That's a good question. I think, we've had really good execution in the first half of the last 4 of our games. I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but we've been up by over 20 in 3 of them, and then 18 in the other one. And all 4 of those games, we have lost the second half. So I would like us to be a little bit more consistent in the second half, obviously, but also I think just our energy level, maybe like you said, our depth, that could be a little bit better. But in the second half, we just need to play with the same emotion and passion as we do for the first 16 minutes.
Gotcha. You got anything else?
I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, that is
it's
tough.
just when you, and you know as well as I do, you know, kids, it's human nature. They get in there and they feel good about themselves, and anytime you break up that rhythm and then have to come back out and do it again, it's you know, and especially the other team, they got nothing to lose, so they're going to come out fired up, and you know that's a tricky question. That's why you get paid the big bucks, Coach. You'll figure it out. I know you will.
Well, Coach, I think you try to take longer possessions. Maybe you don't run as many sets when you're up, and you kind of grind it out. But like you said, I think that kind of is a testament to the SVC and some of the teams that we've played of how hard they're playing, and they continue to fight. And going back to Dina, they cut it to like 6 or 7 in the fourth quarter, and we're playing extremely hard. And that, I think that was good for us because we had growth and we executed down the stretch to be able to finish. And same thing with Southeastern. It's not like we're not playing hard. Other teams just are executing better than us in the second half.
It sounds like the opposing coaches are laying into their teams at halftime. That's what it sounds like, because you guys put it on them in the first time.
I mean, that, and then as the winning team, you get comfortable, and the other team, it's all about momentum. And once that other team catches a little bit of that, they're still high school kids. And I've always said, the difference between the first place team and the eighth place team in the league usually isn't that much. And if the other team, they start out playing and they play harder than you, and they catch a little momentum, and now all of a sudden your guys start tightening up because it's a close game, and it's a funny game. That's why it's 32 minutes long, and you have to figure out a way to be consistent through all 32 of those.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you talking to us tonight, and like I said, we need to make sure we get you in here, bring in a few of your players maybe, and wish you the best of luck tomorrow night and the rest of this week.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys, and you do a great job. I always watch you. I know last week you were going to have me on. Jeran, I kind of gave you a hard time there after our team meal. We saw you when you were officiating, but you guys have to learn when you have Kyle, when you have Coach Jurg from the Lady Huntsman, you got to put him last because he'll just keep talking and he'll take up my time slot.
Well, we got him in the 3-hole tonight, so I think we're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, say goodbye to those 7 and 8 coaches.
Yeah. The 4th and 5th hitter aren't even going to get the bat tonight.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Well, good luck tomorrow, Coach, and the rest of the week, man.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Tyler's doing a really good job out there this year at Zane Tracy. I mean, obviously they still have a lot of talent, but he's kind of brought a different style than what Coach Kello had, and the kids seem to be really buying into it.
Yeah, and I think anytime, obviously his background at Logan Elm is huge, influenced by Coach Stuyvesant, and anytime you're meshing, Coach Cassidy, who's his own person, obviously, but has been a couple different places, and then you go into a system that Coach Kello's had forever, and those type of players, it's it's going to be good outcomes, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, he is for sure. So, okay, looks like we have another coach on the line. Looks like we got Wheelersburg girls basketball coach Dusty Spradlin. Coach, you out there?
Yes, we're here. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, thanks for talking to us tonight on our call-in show. And I don't think we got to talk to you yet this year, but your Wheelersburg Lady Pirates basketball team's having a fantastic season. They're off to a 10-2 start. Just talk to us a little bit about how your seasons went so far, some things that you like about your team.
Oh, well, as you mentioned, 10-2, especially after last year. Last year was a struggle for us. We had so many kids, so many new kids that were playing, coming off the year where we had graduated, I think 7 seniors, made that Final Four run. And then, we played a lot of sophomores and juniors last year and certainly had our struggles. It was like an 11-12 season. And then, this year we returned everybody. We had a few kids that came in from our junior high program that we felt pretty good about, that we thought were going to be able to maybe help us score a little bit. And We had a couple injuries to start our season. Emma Smith had a broken ankle coming out of soccer, kind of delayed things a little bit. But what it did, it gave us a chance to throw those freshmen into the fire. And we started two freshmen for most of the games there and got off to a hot start. And I think a lot of that's probably attributed to our seniors. Mia Vastine was one of the kids returning as a senior, and I mentioned Emma Smith. Emma's only been back now, I think, for like 3 games, but they provide a lot of leadership. And again, those kids that played a lot last year, they got their feet wet last year, had to go through some rough times, but certainly we're ready and excited for a season and another crack at it. And I think, again, a lot of that is attributed to them and, their work ethic. And we've been very pleased with the start that we had here this season.
It really sounds like, you just have a real gritty bunch. Like, you had a little bit of struggles last year. Of course, Wheelersburg struggles are probably a little bit different than everybody else struggles. You guys just loaded every year. But, maybe struggling a little bit last year. And just talk about maybe, some of the things that your team worked on in the off season to help propel you guys to this great start that you're on this year.
Well, I think, obviously last year was, we were in a lot of those ball games. I said, we finished 11-12, with a loss in the sectional final. And, the Achilles heel last year was we really struggled to score the ball. I felt like we defended and stuff fairly well. But, our kids, I think, coming out of that season last year, I think, we've had several kids that, made a commitment to getting in the gym a little bit more, working on their game. And again, that's, really on them. And, we didn't necessarily force that issue on them, but, the kids recognized that that's something that they wanted to do. And, they spend a little extra time getting shots up, working on their individual game. And then, I think a big thing too is, like I said, the experience and, knowing how the varsity game is and being able to play through the physicality, the speed of it and all those things. But, it really starts, like I said, with our upperclassmen, with Mia Vastine and Emma Smith. Like, those are kids that are multi-sport athletes, but, they still found time to get in, work on their game. And, we had a pretty good summer where we were able to go around and play in some summer league games and so forth. And, where you really start to find out a lot about your team there in the summer and June when you can get out and, you kind of start to see how things are going to fit together, with certain players. And even though we didn't lose anyone last year, that was certainly helpful to us. But, adding in some, I think 5 freshmen this year, and we had a sophomore that came out. It gives you time to kind of find out who you are and what your identity, kind of looks like. But, and I tell you, our kids, like most good kids, they put in the time and they're the ones that should be credited for that.
Coach, could you feel the difference at the start of the summer between this summer and, say, last summer? Just from the 23 games experience that you guys had, and then you bring everybody back. Did you kind of, were you able to see that early on in the summer? Or did it kind of take you to the end of the summer before, maybe your girls realized, hey, we're going to be pretty good this year?
You could see it. I could see it. I don't know that you kind of cautiously wonder how good it might turn out and how because obviously things always have to bounce your way sometimes. But there was certainly a lot more confidence there. The kids that had played, the returning players, you could see a difference in them. You could see that, things weren't quite as fast. They weren't as fazed by things. And then, just bringing in some of these freshmen that, have a little bit of an ability to score the basketball, help us a little bit on the perimeter. It's where we struggled so much last year. Like I said, we just struggled to score. We faced a lot of zone last year and just, struggled to make shots. And you could kind of see that early on when we started playing in the summer that, we had, one, a little bit more confidence, but two, just having a few more kids that are a threat to score it from out there. And, it was one of those, I kind of thought maybe that we were going to have a chance to be pretty good. And, I don't know that I would have maybe thought this start at 10-2, but, you could kind of see a difference just in, like I said, some of those kids that with that years of experience.
How did obviously you mentioned the freshmen a couple of different times and talked about your senior leadership. I'm assuming that they welcomed those girls with open arms and it was cohesive and kind of they've shown them the ropes and they kind of need each other, right? Your upperclassmen have that experience. Your younger classmen have a little bit of ability. Sounds like you guys have meshed that really well together.
It has, and that's not always an easy thing. But again, we have good kids, and they were welcoming those kids, and those kids spent, like I said, they spent a lot of time with us, and they did. They showed them the ropes. I think our kids recognized too, early that they could be helpful, and again, just the recognition that last year those were our struggles. We were, again, in a lot of games defensively. We always felt like we were, pretty good, but like there were so many games where we struggled to score. And, I think those kids recognized that they did have the ability to score the ball. And certainly it's been a good thing. Again, with a couple injuries, those freshmen got thrown into starting lineups game one. And, they've had some ups and downs. Freshmen always have some ups and downs, but it's been so far a real good mesh with those older kids and the freshmen coming in. And again, it just, makes it easy on a coach when you got kids that will buy in and kids that, will play for each other. And I feel like that's what they've done so far.
Coach, what's coming up for your team this week?
Well, we just finished a 3-game week, took a tough loss last night to Minford, and we got a 4-game week coming up. So a busy week next week. I think we have at West on Monday. We have our makeup with South Webster at South Webster on Wednesday. Then we turn around and play them again Thursday at our place.
Man.
And then we travel to Eastern Brown to.
Who does your schedule, Coach?
Mother Nature.
No, we're going to have to blame. Yeah, Mother Nature takes that one. I tell you, there just weren't a lot of options, and I told him it's not ideal, but we had to get it in. So so we got Webster Wednesday, Thursday, and then we got Western Brown at the Eastern Brown Classic on Saturday. So busy week, but. This point of the year, the kids would much rather be playing games than, dealing with coach and practice, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, good luck, Coach, and obviously thanks for calling in. It was good to hear from you and learn a little bit about the Pirates this year, and, best of luck the rest of the way.
All right, man, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have some more coaches lined up on the Hice Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show. Welcome back to the Haines Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. I'm Jeran Cox. Got Matt Hoops over to my left, and in the middle we got Dr. Brandon Haines from Haines Total Healthcare. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about whatever he wants, we told him. So
that's a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, we've got some guidelines.
First of all, I do thank you guys for having me in. Like, I didn't know I was going to get to come in. I know we were sponsoring it, but I really love SOSA. It's been it's a cool organization to be a part of. I wish we had something like this when we were kids. I mean, this is just phenomenal. You guys have got this call-in show and all this stuff going on. So kudos to Derek, Brock, all you guys that do this, anybody associated with SOSA. I mean, to do live streams, a fan like me, plus a student athlete that gets to experience this and get interviewed after games, do all-star games. I got to coach and be around the organization was coming along, and it's phenomenal to get to this point. So kudos to you guys. I mean, it's awesome. So when Derek came to me and said, hey, Brandon, I got this new call-in show. Listen to this lineup. I got Matt Hoops. I got Jeran Cox. I got Christian Spradlin. I got Jacob Wise in here. Like, all these people. I was like, holy cow. He's like, we're going to do a call-in show. It's going to make history. We've never done this before. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow. I was like, I get goosebumps, right? I was like, yeah, sign me up. He's like, you'll be the sole sponsor. You'll get to, do a platform and do all kinds of different things. I said, this is awesome. So I told everybody, I said, you guys got to watch this show. It's going to be phenomenal. We got Jeran came over, got Matt coming in for the first time, not coaching. I was like, it's going to be something to watch. So I put it, mirrored it on my big screen TV. I got some food. We were all sitting there on the couch watching this call-in show for the first time. And then I go, hey, Ashley, this is awful. She goes, what? I go, this is unwatchable. I go, this energy in this room is, I don't know, it either makes you want to go to sleep or scratch your eyes out. They're saying stuff. I don't know if anybody's going to even understand this. I said, I mean, if we sold this show to an app, I would probably sell it to Calm. I was like, it's like, we're going to change the name of the show to Haines Put You to Bed Show. And I was like, we can't be a part of this. I was like, we've been in business for 50 years. I was like, we got to change these guys. What can we do to flip these guys upside down? I had no clue what to do. So I called Hoops. I said, I got it, Hoops. I know what we can do. I was like, I know how to change the energy of the show for the positive. I know how to flip somebody real quick. I said, we're going to do the standard process, 21-day cleanse, and we're all going to do it. And I was like, for Matt, it wasn't a problem. Matt's been doing it, every year since
2014. 2014, you started me on it.
I'll never
drinking smoothies in the C League dugout.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I remember packing our mule, Sophie. She's our vitamin mule. So in the morning before school, we would pack her backpack full of vitamins and
she had to deliver it.
Powder. I go, you're the delivery. You're my mule. I was like, you need to meet up with Hoops. I don't know where. He's going to give you cash and a lot of it. And you're going to drop off the goods in a back room somewhere in the school. And she's like, okay, got it, Dad. And it was always successful and always fun to watch that. So he said, Matt said, well, what are we going to do about Jeran? I go, what do you mean? He goes, and I go, oh yeah, Jeran anti-vegetable Cox.
That's right, that's me.
I go, we got it. Matt's like, don't worry, I got it covered. I'll handle it. I said, okay, I trust you on this one. And so he later said, Jeran's in. I was like, so I don't know what lies or deceit you had to tell.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
But you did it, man, and you guys are all doing so well. I'm really proud of you guys.
Day 12. We're on day 12.
Yeah, you got the protein back in you.
Yeah, it is day 12.
Yeah.
And look at the difference in the show. It's electric. Somebody wants to watch it now. I mean, it's something I want to watch now. It's not boring. It's not unwatched. So I'm really proud of you guys. You guys have flipped. You guys look different. You feel different. Your energy's different. And it is the power of the cleanse. It's amazing what this thing can do. And you guys to do it and have the discipline to get this far, you made it over the hump.
What about you? You're on day 10. How do you feel?
It feels great, actually. My first week, man, if I saw roadkill on day 2, I would have eaten it. Like, I was driving home, and I was just looking for a dead squirrel on the side of the road or anything I could get. I had a ruffle once, or a couple times I told you guys, and that ruffle tasted like filet mignon. I mean, it was phenomenal. My jaws hurt from chewing so many vegetables. But I'll tell you what, now the aches and pains that I had every day and the energy that you get back and the clarity of your mind.
Sleep is for me the biggest. I always feel like I sleep so much better.
No, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it just makes your whole body work better. And it's just, I mean, we're in a state of a healthcare crisis when it comes to food. Our food system is really broken. I mean, I think one of the things that Cleanse teaches you is what you're supposed to be eating on a regular basis. And we're doing the complete opposite. And it's a big reason why a third of the population of Americans have metabolic syndrome. And metabolic syndromes is preventable. It doesn't have to exist. It's the combination of high blood pressure, high blood sugar, obesity, especially around the weight. Guys that look like apples, women that look like pears. Those are all part of metabolic syndrome. High cholesterol, high triglycerides, low HDL, and that leads to polycystic ovarian syndrome. It leads to dementia. It leads to men with anybody with non-alcoholic fatty livers. And that's all preventable, and it's all about the food you put in your body, whether it's inflammatory versus anti-inflammatory. And that's one of the great things. The two things that the cleanse does is, one, it cleans your stomach, your digestive tract, your liver, your kidneys, your pancreas, your gallbladder if you have one, most importantly, your blood and your brain. I'm sure you guys feel more clarity in your just thinking and talking and everything that it brings to you. And dietary trauma is a real thing, and it's inflammatory foods are really simple. They're sugar. It's in everything. I mean, now we saw that they just banned red dye, right? It's inflammatory. All grains mostly, especially white flour, and that's everything. Breads, pastas, and that's the one thing I thought was gonna be the hardest thing. I haven't had a piece of bread in whatever how many days this has been, and it's easy now. Like I'm replacing leaves of lettuce for the bread and stuff like that. But also your seed oils, which I yelled at you about one day. Your vegetable oils, your safflowers, your canolas, and then if you fry something, it even double inflammatory. And then even most of our meats, and our commercial meats especially. I mean, I know you had the freshest today, and I'm sure that was a high quality
grilled
piece.
chicken.
Yep, grilled chicken. It looked good. Did you hear he had 2 pieces?
I got yelled at once today already.
You get one.
I got
piece.
told it was supposed to be the size of my thumb. Well, they were about the size.
No. Palm of your hand.
Palm. Okay, I had.
No wonder he had 2.
Get 2
pieces. He had 2 thumbs. You're allowed to have 2.
I was
if
hungry.
they're the size of thumbs,
hungry.
you can have 2.
I think the one thing since we've done this, the biggest thing I was worried about was like, I used to want to drink like a lot of pop, whether it was Fresca, Diet Pop, or whatever, and I thought that would be the hardest thing for me. I have not craved that one time, and I haven't got any headaches from it. I've lost some weight, probably about 7 to 8 pounds. I don't feel bloated. My mind is clear. My skin, I used to have really oily skin. It's kind of gone, but I just, we were talking about this, I think, before you got here, Hoops. If you see something, like maybe a cheeseburger or fried chicken, I don't even want it. Like it doesn't sound very good. Like your taste buds for that stuff just go away. Now it smells good. I'm not going to lie about that, but there's no desire for me to go grab it and eat it.
I think that's because you're this far in and you're so invested in it. And I think that's one of the biggest things for me is, there's several studies that say it takes 21 days to form a habit. And consequently, this cleanses 21 days. So that's the biggest thing that I usually take away from it is, okay, I've done this for 21 days. Now, for the next 3 or 4 months, I'm still probably going to be fairly strong on this. I'm not going to be perfect, like I've said before, but most of the time you can go a good ways on this, and it's beneficial for sure.
And I think you made a good point earlier. I do feel like kind of over the hump right now. Like we're past that initial phase, and
like I told you when we first started this, if we can get to day 11,
we're good.
It's good because now you can put that protein back in, and it's.
I want to tell you. I do want to tell you guys something I didn't tell you on day 1. So me and Ashley, we visit Standard Process Farm all the time in Wisconsin, and they lecture to you and educate you. You get to see the manufacturing. You get to ride on a hayride and see the dirt that they grow this stuff in. It's crazy. And they bring in the best lecturers in the world to talk about this. And the last lady, she was talking about the cleanse, the doctor was, and she said, you know what? That not putting protein into it until day 10 or 11 is really something you don't need to do.
Don't tell me. You better not have had it in since day 1.
Oh, yeah.
No!
She said I could. She said it's not going to make a big difference.
Then they need to change their pamphlet. No. They need to change the book.
Well, she was just,
give me your number.
I think she was maybe more talking about people that have never done it. So you guys did it right. You mean?
Wait! I've done it.
yeah. You could have done it too.
Oh my gosh!
That's all you talked about was protein the whole time.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry, man.
Good secret. I thought we were friends.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man.
Get some protein powder in those shakes now or something.
Are you still cutting your pills, your protein,
absolutely.
You're cutting them up? So you're not swallowing them yet?
No. I'll tell you what, I have found it easier to swallow when I drink with the shake. So like I'd put strawberries, blueberries, banana in a shake. I got the powder. I can't remember what it's called, Complete Food or yeah. And I can swallow the pills with that, but just the water, nah, man, can't do it.
I don't think Standard Process is going to be bringing you on board anytime soon.
That's all right. I made it. I made it to day 12.
I can tell you this: the first time I ever made one of those smoothies, I did it by the book, and I put water with it, water and fruit and spinach and that powder. Mm-hmm. And I remember I took it with me on the way to school, and I almost wrecked when I took the first drink of that. And I thought, there is no way I'm doing this. Yeah. So.
The 100% fruit juice has been a lifesaver for me. The orange juice, the grape juice, those have been lifesavers. I always like to have a drink with me, right? So, and before it was always pop, but now it's the orange juice is fine, the grape juice is fine for me. So, yeah.
20 years ago, we started a program called Healthy Start for Kids, and our goal was to promote fitness at the desk of every student, and teach them about nutrition, and also teach them about postural stress they're going to be dealing with in life as we go through with technology. So the nutrition part, our goal was by the time they got out of 5th grade in elementary, they have been educated on nutrition so much that they could answer these 5 questions. And I really would like to do those 5 questions with you.
Oh, boy.
Do you want to play?
He's in.
All right. Which one's healthier, an almond or a peanut?
I'm going to say an almond.
Nice job. 1 for 1. King of all nuts, queen of all nuts. Now, number 2, which one's healthier? Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark chocolate.
Man, you're on fire.
I know the answers. It just means I don't follow them, though.
Okay, you're going to do good. So, number 3, which one's healthier? Whole milk or skim milk?
Whole milk.
Ooh, you kind of tricked me up there. I'm always about a guy who you do not denature food. So the more you denature food, go away from what nature intended, it becomes less and less healthy. So I didn't think you'd get that one, so nice job. All right, here's another one. 4th one. This is the most anybody's ever got was 3, by the way.
You got a 60% right now.
Okay.
So there's 3 macronutrients that should be in every one of your meals. Yours was very imbalanced today, but I'll give you 2, you give me the 3rd one. There's carbohydrates in every meal, there's protein in every meal, and the 3rd one is what? Carbs, protein.
I'm better at multiple choice. I'm going to say
3.
I don't know.
It's fat. So you got carbohydrates, you got good carbs.
I was going to say triglycerides.
Good protein. So you're, what is he now? 3 for 4?
3 for 4.
Last one. So you have carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Let's just take proteins. Within protein family, you can do an animal protein or you can do a plant protein. Can you name 3 plant proteins? There's no way you're going to get this right.
That's why I told you got a 60%.
A plant protein. Look at Christian's cheating over there. This isn't fair. I'm just going to save everybody's time. No, I don't. I can't.
One of the questions already had it in it.
Yeah.
We got to do 2 cleanses for him.
42-day cleanse.
So seeds, nuts, lentils, legumes, beans. These are all things you really need to incorporate into the program. It gives you that when you're not eating the animal protein, you need to balance proteins by throwing in those, and they're really difficult. You got to do a lot of them, and I'm not a huge fan of beans, but I force them down anyways either way. So you eat beans?
Oh yeah,
I'll eat green beans.
No. That's not in the family.
Black beans.
Ugh.
Yeah, big pinto beans.
I will say, I had Chipotle veggies the other night. I copied off of Hoops. That is the first time I've ever had Chipotle veggies, so you all should be very proud.
Wow. I told you guys, nobody's ordered that. When Matt sent me the what he ordered, I was like, nobody's ever ordered that.
On Quinoa.
Quinoa.
Whatever it's called. Listen, this tells you what I ate before.
This is why we are worried about you.
And I made it.
And we're proud that you're at day 12. But yeah, when I ordered that, I ordered the beans from Chipotle, the fajita vegetables, salsa, lettuce, and that was all that was in my bowl. And then I put it over quinoa, and it was good.
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys. That's really cool. Like, if we could just, I hear you guys talking on the air all the time. They're like, well, we're going to do this for 3 weeks. We're going to feel good. It won't work for the whole year, but it'll work for a little while.
It won't, but it works for a long time.
But it should, if you think about it. I mean, don't you? And the way you guys feel, like, why would you want to go away from the good feeling that you feel right now? Like, but it's so easy. Like,
that's why I said that first night.
Let's get a pizza tonight. Let's do this.
Well, I said it's easy because it's just easy. And a lot of times that's not the best thing. So
It's like the other foods, like I'll just use like McDonald's or whatever. It's like addicting, kind of. It's convenient, it's addictive, and you just keep getting drawn back to it. So
Yeah, the food prep on something like this reminds you of and I'm blessed with having Ashley be a great food prepper and a great cook and turning raw foods from the earth into something that tastes really good. And I'm fortunate to have that. But the prep time it takes to cut up vegetables and prepare them and think about your meals through the week, as opposed to just ordering DoorDash, or you're tired at night at the end of the day and you don't want to think about it. You really have to prep for living healthy and clean in our fast-paced society.
I think one of the things is it just curbs your appetite. Like, I'm just not as hungry anymore.
Yeah.
Which,
I will say I've done more dishes in the last 12 days than I've done in the last year. So I think my wife likes this.
Well, I'm proud of you guys. So if we can get if you guys want to join, we have a ton of this stuff at our office. This is the time of year we always do it as our staff. I wanted to throw a discount having Sosa. If anybody wants to participate and get some of this product or learn more about it, come in the office. We have a staff that knows so much about this stuff, and we can answer your questions, form small groups. I think it's been nice having our group, because I can call you guys wimps every day, or I can give you guys inspiration or recipes and see.
When you send me that stuff, I want to make sure that you're reading it and listening to it too, though.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. We've had some funny ones though, but to have that support, it's really good. So if anybody wants to do it out there that's thinking about it, come to One Health Drive. Just show up at our office, talk to one of our staff. If you mention Sosa, we'll give you a 10% off on the whole thing, which is kind of a nice little bonus. Just talking about Sosa and all the support that they've given us and this show, and you guys sticking with it. I'm sure it helps knowing that you're going to have to be on the air every week. And people are going to see you at every game saying, "Hey, how's the cleanse going, boys? How about a cookie?"
That's happened.
It has happened.
Yeah.
Got offered a brownie last night.
Stay strong. So.
Yep, no doubt.
All right. Thank you guys.
Yeah, well, Brandon, appreciate you coming in here. I know you said this is really late for you.
This
it's
is
just
midnight
getting
or 2
early.
a.m.
So, yeah, but thanks for sponsoring the show. Thanks for coming in, and maybe we'll check back in here after day 21, see how things are going. So.
That'd be really cool. And thank you guys for doing this again. And I know it's a lot of time and energy out of your own schedules to do it, but I think it's really important for our community to see you guys doing it and say, if you guys can do it, I think anybody can do it. And because you guys are we're here at 11 o'clock at night, and you got to figure out now how to manage your day and all that sort of stuff. And I was just kidding about the show being awful at the beginning.
We've gotten better. We're like a good basketball team.
All right, love you guys.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by Ohio Health has to offer by visiting our website at sosaohio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's sosaohio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband. Get it together.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. And we're going to wrap things up here shortly, but I still can't believe Brandon's been eating chicken, Matt.
Man, I was speechless. You know, like I said, for 10 years I've been doing this thing. Had no idea. Like, I mean, you thought that I've been such a loyal customer to this for him that he maybe would have pulled me aside and let me know why you guys struggled. But I didn't even get that. The side text is that's tough. But anyway, you know, it doesn't matter now. We've made it this far, and
I think we are over that hump.
I believe so. And, yeah, so it's, again, we're glad he came in here to kind of, pretty much put it in doctor's terms, but also let us know the benefits that it is having, and then also offering the 10% off to anyone that mentions Sosa if they go into the office and if they are interested in the cleanse. Highly recommend it, and I think the benefits are really good.
Yeah, that's huge. So we've had a good night. We've had Doug Hice in here. We've had Gracie Brown. We've talked to Tyler Cassidy from Zane Trades. We talked to Dusty Spradlin from Wheelersburg. So just we've talked to a lot of good coaches and heard some good things. And obviously probably the biggest game tonight in this area was Unioto beating Westfall, and really sets up like a two-way tie for the SVC. So it's going to be interesting to see maybe how things play out.
A couple things, too. I think that just the weather we've had and the way that it's backed things up, that's going to be interesting. How teams have to handle that. And, we're always, you always deal with it. But, how's it going to impact the outcome of some of these league races?
I think the interesting thing is too, we heard Coach Cassidy talking about he rescheduled that Zane or the Vinton County game the week after the regular season.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, for a couple of different reasons. Great idea. It doesn't hurt you or impact you if you happen to lose that game in terms of your tournament draw.
Yeah.
And it gets you, you're playing a quality opponent right before the tournament, so it gets you in that mindset as well. So I think that's a good move.
Absolutely. So we're going to have our last coach of the evening on. We just talked about that Unioto game for a minute, and we're going to have Unioto boys basketball head coach Matt Combs on the line. Coach, you out there?
Yeah.
Hey, Coach. I know this one it felt really good tonight. Westfall knocked you off early in the season up there, and I just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes here. Just talk about maybe some of the differences between that first game and tonight.
Yeah, I feel like we made some strides in certain areas. First game, we didn't play super pretty basketball night at time, but I thought we did like some time for things a little bit better. See, that first time around, that was really bad. Time to score, and so we did that better tonight. I thought we guarded the two, main players, Ray and Craig, a lot better. I mean, Ray ended up somewhere around 15. He had to work hard, I thought, for him. And I think we had Craig to maybe single digits, maybe 4 or something like that. So we, the first time they had 42 total. I think one of them had 22 the first time around. So they're probably the main two differences, obviously, just defensively on those guys and just a little bit better execution in certain spots.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing as I was watching, and Coach Hoops was there, but it sounded like Ray got a couple baskets in that first quarter off a transition. I think the first quarter you basically shut him out in the half court sets. Ray got going at the end of the fourth quarter, but I think you held him scoreless there in the second and third. I really just thought it was a great team defensive effort tonight by the Shermans, just kind of like you talked about.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of an odd game in some ways. It was pretty physical, I thought, both ways, and then there were a lot of leak out baskets for a reason. I haven't watched the film yet for both teams. I think it was just defense, whether defenses were getting a little bit in the backcourt, and the next thing you know, someone's breaking loose. But like you say, he got a couple play. But I thought when we got organized defense, like in the half court, we were good. We just had times we were running around, trapping and doing some things on our own that got us in trouble. But the effort was really good. Our guys were fired up, maybe too fired up a little bit, but once we got in, I thought the second and third quarter or the third quarter especially was good.
Yeah, Coach, obviously I was there and watched it, and I felt like, we talked a little bit before the game that, we missed a lot of shots at Westfall in the paint, and, that cost us maybe. And then tonight, I didn't feel like you already said, we didn't shoot the ball extremely well, but I just felt like overall our team defense was outstanding. And, kind of talk a little bit about maybe a little bit about the bench and how big of a role they played tonight. I felt like Jack Welch was huge for you guys tonight off the bench, and David Long comes in and hits a 3 to kind of lets us breathe a little bit there late in the game, and just kind of talk about those guys.
Yeah, it's our main guys this year have been really good for us, obviously, and in a lot of ways have carried through games. But it was a night where, like you say, it had to be the bench in a lot of areas. Some of our main guys weren't hitting they normally make or whatever, and those things happen. You have nights like that. Like you said, Jack Welch, Isaac Boyd, David Long, those guys come in. I thought Dawson did a good job in the quarter. We just, when he's in, we play a lot of zone. We didn't really want to play zone, so he didn't get in as much. But when he did a nice job. I just think, the 9 guys we play, those 4 guys off the bench, like you said, did a really good job tonight.
Yeah, and it seems like, Coach, you really got your team rolling right now. You guys won, I think, 9 games in a row. And, your boys definitely got to have a lot of confidence and feel good about themselves after kind of getting a revenge game against Westfall tonight here as you get rolling through the second half of the league.
Well, hopefully, they've done a great job, work every day and doing what you have to do. And obviously it's nice to see off for them. And, we still got a way to go in certain areas, and we, just there's times, like I said, we get a little emotional, too up, try to do a little bit too much. But I think, the flip side of that is having guys that don't care that much, and I don't want that either. So it's nice to have those kids who are passionate and, win, want to do well. So, hats off to them. The kids have worked really hard, and it's nice to see, them having some success. But we've got a lot of tough games here coming up for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing, and then we'll let you go. But I think it's the one thing that is, maybe really beneficial to Unioto kids. I'm sitting here looking at Coach Hoops. These kids, they've had that success on the football field. They've won the SVC. They've had success on the basketball court before, so they know what it takes. And it's. I'm not going to say that they weren't playing hard, but it's one of those things like. It's no secret when it's a big game or it's a revenge game. You got to go that extra, 1%, or you got to turn the light switch on, or whatever you did, whatever thing you want to call it. But it seems like they were able to go to that next level tonight with their energy and enthusiasm. And I think that's the one thing that kind of maybe separates you from maybe everybody else in the SVC. Just you have a bunch of kids that are able to do that. You've had a bunch of kids that have won conference championships and stuff like that.
Well, hopefully so. It's we got a long way to get still, but yeah, I think that like you say, the winning attitude at Unioto for sure, and that's obviously football and basketball programs have been good for basketball for a long time, and football here definitely over the few years under Coach Hoops. So, I think that there is a winning attitude, and that helps for sure. So I think that that's part of the battle, and the other part is just showing up every night, playing hard. Like you said, tonight was a big game. They showed up. Sometimes it's easy to look at a game not as big a game and be a little flat. And that's what we all had to guard against. But hopefully, over these next couple of weeks, we got 4 more in a row at home. So hopefully we'll show up and play well on our home court.
Yeah, well, I was getting ready to ask you what's next for the Shermans. So you got 4 home games. Who you got?
Well, we play tomorrow. This will be our first back, so we'll have to see how we handle that. And that used to be, as Coach say, a normal thing in the SVC. You played every Friday, Saturday. That's our first one. But, yeah, we have some Greenfield, a good season tomorrow, and then a really good Leesburg Fairfield team today, and then get back in league play Friday with Huntington next week. So then Jackson after that. So
Coach, am I wrong? Do we have? Are we making Paint Valley up next Saturday?
Well, originally that was it, but it got changed.
Okay.
We're actually making Paint Valley up now, the very last game of the year.
Okay.
2:15. Yeah.
That's that last week of the season, isn't it, Coach?
All right.
Yeah, it'll be the last Saturday of the boys' regular season, basically. Some leagues are actually on like February 14th is their last game now. Ours isn't, but we will play Paint Valley 15th. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good stuff, Coach. You got anything else for
No,
Okay.
good win.
Yep.
Get
good
them ready
win.
tomorrow, Coach.
Yep. Get them ready, and we look forward to hearing back from you here in next week or so.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Coach. All right. So we think we're going to call it a night. Some good basketball around the area, and I'll be daggone, man. We're still playing some football too. I have a big game on Monday night, national championship. So I think
that's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that Notre Dame's going to try to make this thing as ugly as possible.
Yeah,
and
that's the only chance they have.
So I read an article the other day where someone was comparing it to when Ohio State was 11.5-point underdogs in 2003 to Miami, and they're 8.5-point favorites against Notre Dame. And I just gotta, Marcus Freeman, head coach at Notre Dame, played under Tressel, knows Tressel ball at its best, and I think that Ohio State has to be ready for that. And I think it's going to end up being a good game.
I think the one thing that Notre Dame, they can try to play the two deep safeties like Texas did, and maybe slow Ohio State down. But the one thing that is the X factor to me is just the way the Ohio State defense has been playing. Notre Dame's going to have to prove that they can score.
That's exactly right. And with that, Notre Dame is a solely man-to-man defensive team, and they've done it all season, and they've hung their hat on it, and they kind of pride themselves on it. And it'll be interesting to see.
What do? Do you stay with it, or do you change?
I think you stay with it, but I think if you you better have something in your back pocket, because if Ohio State burns you with it, it'll end up being a long night if you stay in that.
You got
I don't
that
think
far.
you can be stubborn.
Yep, you got that far with what you are, and I think you got to stay with it now too.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we're going to call it a night. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back here next Friday night at about 9:30. So, with that being said, we're going to give a last shout out right here. We're just going to go big OH. I-O. All right. We'll see you next Friday night.
See you.